Sparks and Soft Hands. Bakugou x Deku x Listener. The private training room still smelled of scorched concrete and the faint sweetness of Bakugou's nitroglycerin when the argument finally boiled over. You'd only come to collect them, both after a late session, water bottles in one hand and clean towels in the other. Expecting the usual post-fight banter. Instead, when you walked into the middle of the storm that had been clearly brewing for a few days, Bakugou stood in the center of the mat, shirt discarded, sweat gleaming down the hard panels of his chest and the sharp cut of his hips. Midoriya faced him a few paces away, green curls damp and sticking to his forehead, one hand still faintly glowing in the residual all-for-one energy. The second the both of them noticed you, the air changed. Bakugou's red eyes locked onto yours like you were a targeting system. Midoriya's green ones softened and then sharpened with quiet determination. You barely even had time to set the bottles down before Bakugou's voice cracked across the room. "She's not your recovery project, Deku. Stop trying to treat every bruise like it's a personal failure on your part." Midoriya's shoulders squared. "I'm not treating her like a project. I'm treating her like a person that we both love and who just spent 2 hours matching your intensity. There's a difference between caring and caring." Bakugou's laugh was sharp, almost mean. He moved towards you in 3 long strides, the heat off his body rolling over you before his hands could even make contact. One callous palm settling right on your shoulder. "Please." "You're smothering her," Bakugou snapped, red eyes flashing. "Every time she so much as looks tired, you stop muttering about recovery schedules and goddamn protein intake like you're a fucking doctor. She doesn't need the two of us acting like nannies." Midoriya's voice stayed measured, but the quiet steel underneath was unmistakable. "I'm not smothering her. I'm paying attention. There's a difference between hovering and making sure the person we both love doesn't quietly push herself until she breaks. You, of all people, should understand that." The word love landed between them like a stone dropped into water. Neither of them pretended it wasn't true. That was the strange, beautiful, complicated truth of this poly relationship that you two had built. Messy, loud, and full of sharp edges, and then softer ones. And still somehow the safest place you had ever known. Bakugou stopped pacing. He turned fully, arms crossed over his chest, the sharp line of his shoulders tense. "I pay attention. I just don't need to narrate every single thing. She knows I care, but she doesn't need running commentary." Midoriya's freckled face softened, but he didn't back down. His hand shifted, fingers brushing the ends of your hair in a light, almost unconscious caress. The touch was gentle and grounding. You felt the quiet claim on it. The same claim that Bakugou wore like armor. The only Midoriya's version lived in careful gestures and steady presences. "She knows," Midoriya agreed. "But sometimes knowing isn't always the same as feeling it in the moment. Sometimes she needs someone to sit with her after a hard day without turning into a competition over who cares harder. That's all I'm trying to do." Bakugou's jaw worked for a long moment. The only sound was the rain and the soft click of the refrigerator cycling on. Then he moved, crossing the room in 3 long strides, until he stood on your side. One rough hand settled on your knee beneath the blanket. "I'm not competing," he muttered. "I'm protecting what's mine, what's ours. There's a difference." Midoriya's green eyes flickered to the hand on your knee, then Bakugou's face. Something quiet and understanding passed between them, an old, complicated language built from years of rivalry and newer, more fragile language of sharing you. He didn't pull his hand away from your hair. Instead, he let his fingers card through the strands more deliberately, a soft counterpoint to Bakugou's solid grip. "I know," Midoriya said. "I know. She's ours. And that's why I'm here. That's why I worry when I want to I just like you, and just like you, I just want to protect her." A small, crooked smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. "And I like the way that you're protective, explosive and all." Bakugou made a sound that might have been a growl, might have been a reluctant amusement. His thumb carefully stroked across your knee, slow and almost careful, the dual contact. Bakugou's knee on one side, Midoriya's gentle touch on the other, settled over you like a second blanket. Midoriya shifted, on sinking into the couch beside you so that your shoulder brushed his. The clean scent of him, laundry soap, and the faint ozone that always clung to him after using one for all, wrapped around you as he leaned in, just enough that his voice was meant for the both of you when he spoke. "I'm not trying to take her from you, Kachan. I'm just trying to, make sure she has both of us. The loud version, the quiet version, the explosives, and the soft nights. She doesn't have to choose." Bakugou's red eyes narrowed. "Yeah, she doesn't." His voice was rough, but the edge had dulled. "Doesn't mean I have to like watching you fuss over her like she's gonna break. But fine, you can stay. Just don't start analyzing every frickin' bruise she has." Midoriya's smile widened, and a little sheepishly he said, "No case studies. Promise, I'll just be here. Same as you." The argument didn't end as much as it dissolved into something quieter. Bakugou stayed where he was, solid and warm against your side, and Midoriya remained on your other side, close enough that you could feel the steady rhythm of his breathing and his hand never leaving your hair. "You two done now?" you asked. Midoriya seemed to ignore your question, as did Bakugou. "We take that as a yes?"